So is it safe to say that that punk music was really the music that you all grew up around at the time?
Yeah,
Partially for sure.
partially, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say a lot for me.
Oh.
I was really into it.
Me too. I think it was the first time that I wanted to make music is when I heard punk music and heard, not that I was immediately, I think it was more seeing someone that made me realize, oh, I can do that. This person, I think they kind of know how to play their instrument, or they sort of know how to sing, but they're definitely, it doesn't sound like the smoothest thing that would appeal to the most people. So I thought that's exactly where I am. I'm in that category.
I think we've kept the doors fairly wide open for ourselves. It's hard to say because I don't have any objectivity, and I know that probably every record we make sounds like a TV on the radio record. But I think that they sound different from one another, and that we've explored in different directions on each record. And yeah, hopefully that's true. Hopefully we can do whatever we want to do.
I don't think we know how to do the same thing over and over again. It happens once and then it's all fumbled if we try it again.
Yeah.
I can make the same mistake twice.
Well, mistakes, yes.
Yeah.
Mistakes you can keep making
Yeah.
your entire life. I feel like we wrote this one very quickly, and it also happened after a very long break. We got off of tour, and it was the first in 2011, and it was the longest we'd been off of tour for about 7 years. So it was kind of, we're a bit out in the mist, and everyone's kind of doing their own thing. And then eventually you definitely miss this thing that's very regular about your life. And for me, it was absolutely necessary for me to get out of that, and probably for all of us to get out of it, to realize what was not important about it, and kind of come back and only do the fun parts, only do the parts that mean something to us. Because it's hard being in any sort of, like, people compare it to a marriage, and if you're married for 13 years, unless you're a highly evolved human being, you're going to have some sort of difficulty.
13 years and no sex the whole time.
Yes, yeah,
Which
to
is
add, yeah.
maybe why it lasted, and maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's really hard to comment on any kind of like formula on how we do anything because we don't have one. And I think each record has a different way of doing things. There's a lot of different influences going on each person at that time. And so what we bring back to each other is always going to be, it's like starting new every time. I mean, we know each other, so I don't think we question each other, but it's definitely, we can't really anticipate where each one is going to be, each time we make a record, what they're listening to, what they're influenced by, what's on their mind.
I think the best kind of songs happen where you don't really realize, you don't remember what you did.
Yeah.
I think you just kind of, you keep working on something until it sort of starts talking to you in a way, and then it's finished. I think it's the best way.
We definitely are in it so that we can make something that we're interested in, and it's just a blessing that it's other people want to be involved or want to check it out. I think that's always I always come from a position of gratitude about that, because I know, just looking at the longevity of what we've done so far is nothing short of miraculous, especially because sometimes, it's just hard to just do this, I mean, it's like you're living an 18-year-old's dream, but you're 42, so it's a weird thing to still be doing, but it would be the love for the actual thing that could fuel something like that. I think all the other stuff is a little bit, we weren't plagued with commercial success, so there's not a lot of people around making us do it again.
Part of the reason that we can all do this is we're all really invested in the idea of possibility as far as what we can create, or just possibility generally. I think if you end up being any kind of, or if art or music chooses you, then I think the last thing you're gonna do is try to, even if you have a huge hit or something, like I wish people would, especially somebody who has an enormous hit, I wish they would do something so weird.
Like Tusk.
Yeah.
Extra Rumors.
Yeah.
Because it didn't, it made something incredible. I don't know, that's probably harder to do today though.
Well, I think, yeah, that's the thing that's really interesting, is to still make weirdo music in this climate is nuts. And I don't think a lot of people are still nuts. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that, like, taking huge risks as the prize shrinks or something is, like, a little bit harder. But, I mean, we kind of built the whole thing on risk. And so we don't really know another way. But there's, like, just the possibility of, I mean, what would Jimi Hendrix be doing right now always sits somewhere in the back of definitely my brain and probably others. Like, if Jimi Hendrix had 156 tracks available to him, or, I always wonder what it would be like. But, it's rock and roll. It's just for a new audience.
How long has Austin City Limits been going?
This is our 41st year.
Yeah, I remember seeing it when I was a child on the television. And it's pretty exciting to get to play it. So
Yeah,
thanks for having
absolutely.
us.
You're welcome.